What's good, LL Nation? Happy Tuesday to everyone out there, man. East Coast, Midwest. Enjoy the next couple of days because you got a huge storm coming. Left.
Uh-oh.
You got like 3 days of consecutive snow coming to the Midwest and the East Coast. So it's about to get ugly. You are about to have yourself a white Christmas indeed. Lucky Lefty Podcast. I'm your guy, Shaun Davis at SB2 Mics. That dude right there, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire. We are brought to you today by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to drink, by all means, make sure that you drink
responsibly.
You got to drink responsibly. Today, we're going to hear from the defensive side of the ball. Players like Jalen Sneed, Xavier Watts, Junior Lamaka, who's made a change, not only playing linebacker, but playing a little bit of Viper. Notre Dame has a new offer out, and it's a familiar territory that has produced players like Manti Te'o, Jordan Patello, and this young man looks like he can get it done coming off the edge. We'll talk about that. Have some really, really good intel concerning Peyton Bowen. National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Yes,
so
sir.
We'll get into that as well. And we have a lot of people to put on the petty train. So it's going to be a great show. Today is the day of the double feature on Lucky Lefty Podcast. We're going to give you about 40 to 45 minutes this morning. And then we're going to open it up. And we're going to have our brother, John Garcia Jr., all to ourselves tonight at 6 p.m. right here on the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You can find us and all of our great content at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, courtesy of CFB Nation, in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. You already know we spin it different. So once again, 2 shows tonight, 2 shows today, and then tomorrow, National Signing Day. Make sure you guys tap in with us all day. The IB CFB Nation family. John Garcia is going to be on IB and also CFB Nation tomorrow. He's going to be posting his own mini videos tomorrow. So stay locked in with that. Stay locked in with his content all day. We will be part of the National Signing Day coverage that will begin at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, over on Irish Breakdown. Myself and Left will be jumping in, have player interviews, parent interviews. It's going to be a great show. And then, as soon as that's done, you can flip right over to Lucky Lefty Podcast. And we're going to have the wrap-up show of National Signing Day. And we're going to have player interviews. And we're going to have OG interviews from former players and get their thoughts on the recruiting class as it sits on tomorrow. So it's going to be a fantastic day of National Signing Day coverage, Irish Breakdown, and then CFB Nation Lucky Lefty Podcast starting. I think we're probably going to go live right about 6 Central. So by the time we hit the ground running, it's definitely going to be everybody's online signed up. So it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long day. I'm sure they're going to have Left on Irish Breakdown talking about Kenny Minchie, what he brings to the class, when he officially signs. All these young men are going to have their signing days at their schools or different areas and venues close to them where they live. So it's going to be fantastic, man. It's going to be fantastic. Can I give you a little bit of intel?
Talk to me.
Left. All last week, all we heard and all we felt from the Notre Dame fan base was panic, 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 panic.
Panic, 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 panic.
Concerning Peyton Bowen, the reports, and a possible flip, Oregon coming in with NIL presentations late in the game. I tipped my cap yesterday on the recruiting show, and I want to do it again right here. It must feel wonderful to actually have a head coach that knows how to fight tooth and nail for elite recruits, knows how to go in home and actually make an impression,
a lasting impression.
A lasting impression on the final in-home visit, and then can inspire the young men in the class to do what we've seen players from Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State do, coming down to the wire National Signing Day for years. See, unfortunately, this fan base is used to, everything being quiet. And once the rumors break about a decommitment, Notre Dame is not fighting back. They just take it. Oh, we lost him.
Oh.
Like last year, Morrison Walker.
Yeah.
Supposed to be all Notre Dame.
Supposed to be all Notre Dame. End up going, where is it?
Here come the rumors to Michigan.
Yeah.
What does Notre Dame do? Tuck tail and run. No fight. The best thing I heard when Marcus Freeman took over is that he said, I'm the head recruiter on everybody. On everybody. He goes in home with Peyton Bowen on Friday night. Most felt like that he was going to hear, sorry, coach, we love you. We thank you for everything you've done, but we've decided to go in another direction. Peyton Bowen was scheduled to go up to Oregon over the weekend. He was also scheduled for another visit to Norman. Those things happen.
Whatever, it's just like, whatever, dude.
None of those things happen.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you see the 2023 class that has a tremendous, tremendous set of values and worth and belief in how they're going to change things at Notre Dame. Like, they really believe that. They believe they are the game-changing class for Notre Dame football.
Hey, that's how you're supposed to feel. That's a good sign.
The recruits refused to stop fighting. They went on the attack. They kept calling. They stayed locked in. They kept posting on social media. It feels good as a fan base to have a program that follows the lead of the head coach that's willing to fight. And see, that's why I don't mind losing a Keon Keeley or a Dante Moore in his first go-round. Don't mind. Because I know what he's going to do. He's going to keep fighting. Yeah. Okay, I lost those two. But watch who I get in 24. Because I'm coming back again.
Watch who I get in 24. That's right.
Yeah. And we said it last week. This class is like the first Rocky movie. Okay. Call it a draw. But the next time I get into the ring with these dudes, Marcus Freeman expects to come out the winner with the belt. Champ. That's his mindset. And that's the mindset of this class. They expect to be national champions.
And that's how we were, and exactly how we were. We were the class that we said, okay, we're going to change it. We're going to be the team that wins it, coming after the championship year that we lost to Alabama. And we were smart for the class above us, who was also a really good class. And just that mix and belief. And then we had some really, really, really good players that made an impact early. And that's what you need. You need that class to come in feeling like they're not the hole fixers, but they're the program changers. And we got a lot of firepower in both of these 23 and 24, with Marcus Freeman not quitting and bouncing back after getting news of, you just leave a kid's home, then he decommits and goes somewhere else, or other guys decommitting. He's been able to save face and been able to stay strong on his recruiting tactics, and he's been bouncing back with some undercover really good finds and gems, I believe, in this class that's going to make an impact early, especially on special teams.
Look, bro. I won't say who. I talked to multiple recruits last night. Multiple. recruits last night. Flat out asked him, "How you feeling about your boy?" I'll just leave it at this. They know. They already know where he's going. That's their mindset. Like, oh, we already know where he's going. And they feel great. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think if it was a concern, Marcus Freeman would have a more of attempted effort openly, to re-recruit a kid that still I don't think he's going to play the first year. But, down the line, he's going to be an impactful player, and I think it'd be great to keep it in. But, we've been real cool on not getting too stressed out over guys, with interest other places that are committed or decommitting or flipping on us. I think we've been pretty solid throughout this whole process.
The last thing to kind of put a nice bow on this Peyton Bowen saga that will come to an end sometime tomorrow. And either someone's fan base is going to be extremely happy tomorrow.
That's right. Because ain't no more waiting now. You got to decide.
You can't put it off any longer. The kid has had over a week to decommit. If he had decommitted on the in-home visit, more than likely you would have seen a post the next day. If he had had that conversation with Marcus Freeman. Only to go and get a story from the Oklahoma 24/7 site today, where even his head coach at Denton Geyer predicts that Notre Dame will win out. He said as of last week, now this is his coach. This is his high school coach.
Since a baby.
His own high school coach said last week, I thought it was going to be Oregon. Not Oklahoma. He said, I thought it was going to be Oregon.
He said them shoes came to the school.
That NIL deal was something else.
They backed up that truck, dropped them crisp Nike boxes off. I thought
somehow, some way. Now his coach is like, pretty much the longer he stays committed, he'll probably stay with his decision.
We're going to find out tomorrow.
So if he stays committed throughout this day, Notre Dame fans, National Signing Day might turn out to be as glorious as you thought it would have been over a month ago. But you got to see, Notre Dame fans, look, I know it's been tough. I know it's been a roller coaster ride. And I know we haven't been used to stuff like this because we didn't have a head coach that actually went out after the elite talent and believed that they would want to come to Notre Dame, that would stay in it to the end, up until the last second of National Signing Day. We're not used to that. We're not used to that. So as a fan base, we're going to have to get used to these ups and downs of recruiting. Right. These rumors, these stories. We're going to have to learn how to relax and let Marcus Freeman do his job. Let Marcus Freeman do exactly what he said, what he's going to see. You take him at his word. Marcus Freeman is doing exactly what he said he's going to do. He's going to get elite talent to see that Notre Dame is the place they need to be. He said, I'm not going to convince them. I'm going to get them to see that Notre Dame is the place they need to be.
Good strategy.
Hey, we'll see.
We will see.
We shall see. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Let me tell you something, man. If Peyton Bowen stays in this class, I'm gonna talk so much ish tomorrow, bro. Do you know how much trash I have watched certain people talk within the fan base and outside the fan base over the last month to a month and a half? Do you understand
Let them talk, Shaun. Let them talk.
the amount of GC ignorance that I'm gonna spit tomorrow, bro? The level of GC ignorance that's going to come out of my mouth on tomorrow.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Oh man, they can take all their crystal balls and shove it.
Because all it is a guess. They just out there guessing, causing havoc, guessing. But at Notre Dame, we know. We do knowing around here.
And I have not stated or given a prediction. That's not what I've done. What I've told you is what his head coach has said. I've told you what his brotherhood, his brothers in the 23 recruiting class for Notre Dame, what they said. And I'm telling you what's trending and how things are trending within that program concerning Peyton Bowen. Mm-hmm. He could wake up tomorrow and choose to go to Texas A&M for all I care, for all he cares. Yeah. We never know. By the way, Texas A&M is still throwing that bag around. And they've actually, their class has kind of picked up life over the last week.
That's right. I mean, they got a lot of empty spots. So
yeah. But you best believe, Lucky Lefty Podcast, you want to tune in all day tomorrow. We talking that ish. We talking it, right? Especially for the people who's like, man, you know, NIL, without NIL, there's no way Marcus Freeman can hold on to a 5-star. Okay, let it happen.
Let it happen.
Let it happen. Let it happen. You may be right. But if by some chance it happens, boy, y'all getting a full day of this face.
That's right.
I'm letting it be known. Shut your mouth. Let's get defensive minded in Gator Bowl.
It's gonna be a good show tomorrow. I tell you that.
Whew. Left. How difficult was it? Because I listened to the players, and one thing stood out. They talked about Marcus Freeman setting the tone not only on the field but setting the tone off the field. And literally, he gave his team a schedule. Because not only are they preparing and competing, but they're preparing for finals.
Yeah.
At the same time.
That's right.
You've been through that. Talk about how preparing for finals and preparing for a bowl game at Notre Dame is different than anywhere else. That's the one thing I picked up from the players. Like, yo, it's no joke, especially the freshmen.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an adjustment for the freshmen, just because you have a lot of expectations, depending on where you come from. Finishing the year with a lot of projects and papers. Always had a lot of big papers that I had to stay up some nights for, just to get them done. I think a lot of that just comes from a lot of guys procrastinate. And they let it get to the end of the year, and they got to go talk to Adam, and then Adam tell them you got to do a list of things like to get back on track. And then you get a lot of guys that get that warning shot. They like, you gonna be eligible by the end of this, so they on their P's and Q's a little harder. So yeah, the end of the year is the culmination of all the stuff you procrastinated with and put back just because you're focused on the success of the season. So the good thing is that a lot of times the class schedule is a little lighter. So you may not have some classes because they let you, do projects, or they building up to the exam. And then you have the bowl game practices that are a lot more chill, but then you got the break coming up. So you get a lot of end of the year cleaning, you got the school. So it's a lot that goes on, but it's exciting when you go to the bowl game because it gives you that reinvigoration and kind of freshens you up to get a few more practices in before you actually play in the game.
I can't even imagine it, bro. I can't even imagine it. 'Cause you're right. I was that dude, right? You have students. I'm better in chaos.
Exactly. I think most football players or athletes are, you know.
Yeah, I was better in chaos in college, and I would constantly tell myself though, look, like, man, start on the paper this weekend, so
Yeah.
you won't have to do it next weekend,
When you
right?
have to do it. Yeah.
Right. And then
Gotta
something will pop up. Somebody will hit me up like, yo, we're going over here. We're about to go here.
and every time I'm like,
Man.
all right, I'll see you later.
And then somehow, some way, I will still get the job done.
Every time.
So
You find a way to get it done. But when you do it, you like, oh man, I'm good at this. I can manage.
and to kids that might be watching with your parents, don't be like us.
Don't be like,
Don't procrastinate. Handle your business up front. Stay ahead of the game. It's the best way to deal with college and your schoolwork.
oh yo, time management and dealing with being under the gun, it's just not fun after a while.
No,
It's
it wears on you.
yeah, it
It
wears.
wears on you. Lucky Lefty Podcast. That's our PSA for the kids today, right here. Lucky Lefty Podcast. So we did have the defensive players. We spoke to the offensive players yesterday, and we thank everybody for your comments, the likes, the views of yesterday's show, and the downloads over at Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we understand those that hit back and felt like we were taking unnecessary shots at Tyler because, you can't judge an interview.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can 100% judge an interview. And for a guy that's been hurt all season, you would think would be itching at the bit to get out there and prove that he should have been playing all season. That it was just a mental lapse. But then to also agree that they need to go get another guy for the room. What do you do with that? So those are some red flags that I think are 100% reasons to be concerned, because it's different than giving the cliche responses where you're like, okay, he's Mr. Rogers. He's just going to tell us what we want to hear. Like Mitchell Evans, give us a sweet response. We can move on. But his interview just happened to be alarming because it was takes that you wouldn't expect from a guy that hasn't played as much as everybody's probably wanted to.
And to give context, I believe yesterday, and he mentioned it at the beginning, they were coming off the offense. They were coming off a rough practice. I think it was like they had stacked really good practices, and then that particular day wasn't their best performance. Right. So maybe that had them down. Maybe that had them disappointed. I don't know. But
still,
that's the great thing about sports and being part of the fan base. We all have different point of views. And right here on Lucky Lefty, we respect them all. We respect them all, as long as it's respectful. Okay, you tell me where you want to start, Left. We can start with the defensive line, Howard Cross. We can go to your boy Jalen Sneed. We can bring up Benji, the All-American freshman.
Jalen Sneed, man. That's my
guy. You want to talk with Jalen Sneed? That's your guy. Jalen Sneed, man, he's from South Carolina. South Carolina recruited him, and it's a big game for him to face off against them. And they won't be too far from the border of South Carolina when they kick it off at the Gator Bowl down in Jacksonville. So this is big for him on multiple levels. And the fact that he's trending up, getting more snaps, playing more, learning the position. And Jalen Sneed talked about that, like how special everything is going to be for him and what's going into his preparation, not only for the game, but for the position linebacker during the season.
I feel like it's a great opportunity that I get to play a hometown school and that all my friends and family are pretty much fans of them, and I can't just wait to go kick some butt.
And then what do you know now about the linebacker position that you might not have known in August, just going through a full season?
I feel like there's a lot to linebacker than a lot of people think. Like, there's a lot more thinking than I thought at the beginning of the season. Just knowing what to do, being able to watch film and know what's coming at you is just like a great tool to have.
And then how valuable has James Ernest been for your development?
James has been the best. We've been putting in so many extra hours to get better. We've been watching film together, working on the field together. It's just been amazing to have him, 10-year NFL vet. I mean, you can't really do much better than that.
Did the freshman say he was going to kick butt? Did he say he was ready to kick butt?
He said he's like, yeah. He said, I'm going to be out there. And I'm hitting something. I'm leaving with something. He kind of looked like Meek Mill if he cut his hair a little bit.
Let's see.
It's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
If he cut his hair, he look a little bit like Meek Mill.
That's a good one. I never looked at that. Man, yo.
You can see it though.
He does have a little Meek likeness to him.
Yeah.
If he cuts his hair. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Yeah, he's definitely finna turn up though in this Gator Bowl. I think a lot of times when you get the extra motivation of your friends and family gonna be there, and it's a school that you have a lot of love for, you just didn't want to commit for whatever reason. You get a little bit of a boost in your battery pack, and I think it's going to help promote what I think is going to be a nice opening season call for what he's going to bring to this school. And I think him, and along with that lineage of freshman linebackers with Ziegler and him, I think it's going to be pretty special. And Tua Lamaka, I said it right. I had to say it.
You hit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went on to talk about how he cut his teeth and how every freshman, every player that comes through Notre Dame cuts their teeth on the defensive side of the ball with Brian Mason, how special the special teams group has become in that program.
I feel like special teams is a key part of the game, and everybody should play, especially when you're a skill guy. I feel like it's helped my game a lot because it's like if they don't trust you yet, like it builds trust for you to be able to play on defense.
When you see guys like Foskey, one of the lead guys on the team, making plays on that side of the ball, does it sort of generate sort of a buzz around special teams within the locker room?
I feel like Coach Mace has just made it so exciting to be able to be a part of special teams, kickoff, punt block. It's just been fun to be in the meetings, very intrigued. Chaos kills.
Man, I like this kid.
Yeah.
I like this kid.
Well thought out answers. You can tell he really wants to be a good player. And I think it goes back to Marcus Freeman's recruiting. We stole this kid from a place where he was for sure set and sold to stay in state, but made a decision to come out of state to Notre Dame. I think it speaks a lot about Marcus Freeman too.
I like it, man. Chaos kills.
Chaos kills.
That's the mantra for Brian Mason. I like it. Chaos kills. Lefty podcast. We go to Howard Cross, who, by the way, when he met with the media upstairs, not on the YouTube video that some of you might have seen over on the Notre Dame site, he talked about going up against this offensive line, how impressed not only has he been with the starters, but the young guys like Billy Schroff that are coming on. He talked about Billy Schroff just being a technician, just being strong, and being fast on his feet and athletic. I was like, man, do we have the next Quentin Nelson coming in Billy Schroff? We shall see. But when it comes to everything else and the preparation for this game, what's the point of emphasis for Notre Dame going into this Gator Bowl, Cross?
This is tech. I mean, last year's bowl prep, when that whole thing happened, when Freeman stepped up, it was every day, go as hard as you can. It was basically a scrimmage every single day, and we got after each other every day. and it was fun. And we're doing the exact same thing every day. Is a chance to show yourself, to show everybody. The young guys are getting a chance. Everybody's getting a chance to show what they can do. And it's a new team, so everybody can do what they're going to do.
What are you excited about in terms of playing South Carolina?
I mean, I've had limited, obviously everybody here has had limited experience playing SEC teams, so obviously SEC is like a big conference, and I mean, I'm just excited to play them.
And that's definitely what you like to hear, that they've been getting after each other, making each other better, good on good, competitive. It doesn't get monotonous, and it's fun. It definitely sparks a lot of enthusiasm from your young guys, and for a guy like Howard Cross to get a lot of attention on getting reps against good players, it's only going to make us better against a team that gets a lot of hype, and being in the SEC. Now they have some freaking natures and everything, but it's going to come down to elite competition, and I think we're going to be up for it.
I think what separates everybody's big. Yeah. That's the one thing we pointed out yesterday. Like, if you look at the defensive line, South Carolina, they're chiseled different. This shoulder's a little bit wider.
The 290 down there is different than 290 in South Bend.
It's different, but they still give up a lot of yards as a rush defense. So I don't know if it's a scheme. I have to dig in a little bit more for preparation next week when we really get into it. I know Clemson did a great job of using the quarterback run, but they also got Will Shipley to the outside and Mon-Fri to the outside, and they use their guards to pull a lot. So, when you start pulling the guards, that says more about the linebackers. It says a lot about the defensive line, and then Clemson's offensive line isn't really that great, and they were still able to run the ball. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see. Is this just going to be the game that Notre Dame lines up once again and physically dominates a team? Or will they come out and throw the ball a little bit more with Tyler Buckner and Steve Angeli than we anticipate?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game plan, considering that we could run the ball, but can we throw it? That's the question. Is Tyler Buckner going to go out there and get nervous against live bullets? Or is it going to be a more run control? We're going to take advantage of the numbers and analytics and really drive home the fact that we can run the football on a team that's giving up some yards doing it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Lucky Lefty podcast. So Cross also talked about the D-line, how they've improved, the competition. And then he says they face the best offensive line in the nation every day. That's the way he feels.
Yeah, that's right.
Seen under the Viper position with Foskey gone and some other guys kind of rotating in there now.
I mean, we're a great team. A great player leaves, another great player has to step up. That's just how it is. And we have great players, and that spot is just going to be filled just fine.
And then what makes Zeke so tough at center?
He's a big dude. Just you can't move him. He's very side to side. Like you can't move him. Like he's a great center. Like pitch perfect. Like they're by far of anybody we played. I guarantee Zeke and our offensive line have been the hardest offensive line we played all year. There's like a level how to say about anybody. I'm not even just saying I'm being 100% serious. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So listen to him.
Yo, Zeke Correll has been one of the most unheralded performers along that offensive line. The two young tackles get a lot of love. Josh Lugg has played better than he played last year. Jared Patterson is the unquestioned leader of that group. But Zeke Correll has been really good this year.
Hell yeah. Zeke Correll has definitely probably just taken the coaching and direction that Harry Houston has provided. And I'm telling you, when the season gets later, the O-line gets greater. All those reps add up that they use pre-game, pre-practice, and after practice when everybody goes inside, starting to come into effect at a time like this. And the consistency you're seeing is what's most appreciated about this offensive line, because they're not faulty against great teams or, and less dominant against teams we should be better than. They're pretty much consistent and good throughout each week to week, which is hard to do with college football players.
It's very hard to do. But the first question he was asked is very key. And fans, look, we weren't trying to be negative at all towards Tyler Buckner. We just want to see the kid enjoying himself.
Yeah, give us.
Like, you're the quarterback in Notre Dame, man. I don't care if good practice, bad practice. Look, there were offensive players that came from the same offensive bad practice that were upbeat. Multiple guys that we heard from yesterday struggled on the offensive side of the ball. Same practice.
Same practice.
Stepped in front of the mic and was like, let's go.
That's right.
I love what Tyler's doing. He's balling. I love what Steve Angeli's doing. He's balling. This is Mitchell Evans. This is the tight end. Deion Coles, we're working both of them. Learning their tendencies, learning what they like to do. Encouraged. Deion Coles, what's the mindset of the wide receivers? We're hungry.
They hungry.
We're hungry.
Starving.
Defensive side of the ball already. Jalen Sneed, amped.
Oh,
Howard
yeah.
Cross, amped.
Amped.
Hey, Howard, man, you're going to be missing Foskey coming off the edge. Like, how do you replace him? What do you mean? This is Notre Dame.
Player leave, another step up. What is
like? This is Notre Dame. That's all we have is our great players. He leaves, somebody steps up. What? What are you talking about? That's all. That's all we want.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all we want.
That's it. You should be enthusiastic, as you said earlier, Left. You haven't been on the field.
Yeah.
No one should be more amped to play this game.
You should be out of breath somehow. Like somehow you just out of breath because you've been running around everywhere. You're healthy. You got a chance to play in a great bowl game that the team has set you up for. You got young guys that's ready to be led. And it's just important that you take advantage of the moment because the window is small still. You know they're bringing in guys. And this is like your audition tape. So, take it serious, man.
Yeah. I mean, if we're asking for too much, we apologize.
Yeah, like, sorry. We thought this was Notre Dame. My bad.
If we're asking too much, we apologize. But, man, I don't know what else to tell you. Your boy, Junior Tuilamaka, he's been doing some hybrid stuff, Left. They got him at Viper, coming off the edge, and also playing linebacker. And, he has the body type that if he goes full-time Viper, he probably going to end up being a really good player. And they have so much depth in that class in particular with guys like Ziegler and Jalen Sneed and some other guys coming in the 23 class that on the interior, they can mix and match. And you still, I forget, we haven't even mentioned Prince Colley, who's going to be a dude, in my opinion.
Be a dude next year.
Look, man, let's keep it a buck. Jack Kaiser, J.D. Bertrand, you all have some decisions to make.
Yeah.
There's some decisions to make, man. Because the competition is real.
I think we would keep JD just from a leadership veteran standpoint.
Absolutely. Jalen Sneed pointed this out, how instrumental JD is not selfish.
He's not.
He's one of those guys that recognizes the greatness in the young guys. And Jalen Sneed pointed that out. How he's JD will challenge him.
He's a lesser Drew Tranquil.
Yeah. So you have to tip your cap because it's a way to handle things when you know there are great players behind you that are probably better than you athletically. But as a leader, you don't put yourself in a bubble and say, I just need to hold on to my spot. No, it's bigger than that. And as a leader, J.D. Bertrand has acted accordingly.
Yeah.
And he's poured into those young guys. And he's brought them in. And that's commendable. That's what a true leader is.
definitely giving value to a linebacker room where you could be selfish. You know, you could say, "Oh, I got years on these guys. I'm not about to be here," but he not being a hater and loving the team and what the mission is, brings those young guys along because he can't stay there forever. But being able to help those young guys play up to a level to where they can compete together, that's all you can ask for, especially from a great leader like Marcus Freeman.
Absolutely. So here's Junior Tuilamaka talking about working at the Viper.
Experience, especially learning from Isaiah Foskey and all the older players. So just knowing that I can be versatile at that position is it's been fun.
I guess what's just kind of the biggest challenge going from linebacker to Viper?
Definitely the understanding, pass rush moves and everything, especially little key steps towards run games and everything, and understanding that you got to be a little lower, stronger. So, yeah.
And then since you've been here just about a year now, I guess where have you kind of grown the most, either on or off the field so far?
I would say my ability to be versatile. I mean, just understanding the whole playbook, the whole scenario of being wherever they need me on the field. So.
Like he said, he talked about the middle of the season is when I think the staff, and this goes back to a point that we made about Marcus Freeman. He wasn't just trying to win games. The entire program and the entire roster was under review.
Yeah.
Everything was under review during the season because you don't really know what you have until the live bullets start flying.
That's right.
Then you get the truth.
And I think that makes it easy to evaluate when it gets to that point, and the dust will settle how it does. You just hope you can prepare guys enough for when those situations and times come that they can perform at a high level. So I think all included, it's a good balance of experience with youth talent in that linebacker room. And that Viper position, showing off the versatility of Tuilamaka, I think is going to help. Especially doing it early, is going to help develop him into a monster potentially, provided he can hold down that spot. And knowing your job, it's a lot more to know than just putting a hand in the dirt.
Yo, you know what's happening here, Left? This staff is not just sitting on their laurels saying, okay, we have really good guys at this spot, but we can only play one at a time. You know what they're saying? We have to find a way to get our best talent on the field.
That's right. We got to move some guys just to get another guy on there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They need Prince Colley and Sneed and Ziegler and Tuilamaka at the same time.
Yes.
Holding it down.
Right. Like, we're not just stacking them up on a depth chart, breaking down snaps and giving 20 snaps to one, 10 snaps to the other. No. We got to find a way to get all of this talent that we brought in last year on the field. They're too good to be sitting on the side.
Another year.
Absolutely. Prince Colley has been way too good to just be sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
Too good. He needs more snaps. He needs to play. He needs to be given an opportunity to make an impact.
That's right.
And that's what we're seeing with everything that Marcus Freeman and this staff that they did during the year, the changes that they've made. We're going to see. We're going to get a sneak peek of what things may look like going into next year in the Gator Bowl. Lucky Lefty Podcast, available Apple Podcasts, Spotify, via CFB Nation in conjunction with Irish Breakdown. All of our great content, especially with our big bro, John Garcia Jr., State of Recruiting Podcast over at CFB Nation with us. The best content concerning Notre Dame football and recruiting. You already know it's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. Not only did he talk about his time at Viper, but he talked about the importance of this bowl game and what it could mean moving forward.
As understanding from the older players, it's you don't want to go into off season for another 8 months, knowing that you lost the game. So we're gonna make sure that we come out there ready, win that game, and prepare for next season instead of worrying about what we could have done for that game if we lost.
So this is really a glimpse into next season. So can you give us an early glimpse of what 2023 might look like?
So we'll be ready. Come for the national champion, and yeah.
You heard what he said? Heard what he said? To end that?
Experience, especially learning from Isaiah Foskey and all the older players. So just knowing that I can be versatile at the position.
Versatile at the position, getting on the field, attitude going into next season, national championship.
Yeah.
That's the bullet points for a freshman in this program. Those are his bullet points.
And that's what you heard in the recruiting trail as well. This is going back to it's not just when you get on campus. This is going back to the recruiting trail as well. And I think this is just part of the messaging that Marcus Freeman is pushing. He's saying, listen, we're looking for big goals around here. Big goals.
Mm-hmm.
We're not coming to win a conference or beat our rival or, start the season, this and that. We're looking for the big goals and winning the championship. And we haven't lost that energy, since BK. So I think Marcus Freeman has kept that spirit alive and even more.
Man, look, the importance of the Music City Bowl to you guys between 14 and 15 seems to have the same vibe for this program going into the Gator Bowl. SEC team favored, supposed to be bigger, faster, all of that stuff. Notre Dame can't possibly compete with SEC. It's the same narratives.
Yeah.
The absolute same narratives. Guess what? Also, 2 quarterbacks playing going into this game, just like 2 quarterbacks are going to play going into the Music City Bowl. I'm getting the same vibes, Left. I don't know if it's going to be raining down there and it's going to be messy, but we shall see.
We shall see
How things turn out and how things will move forward for Notre Dame in this program. Absolutely Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, it's time for the freshman All-American. It's time for the freshman All-American.
Benji the Robert Morrison.
Yeah. So Benji, what's changed since you got on campus in your play to now?
More reps comes, the more confident I became. More plays I got, the more confident I became, and then just the practice reps. I feel like there's a difference in the game, the practice and the game. So the more game reps I begin to get, the more confident I'm going to be able to just understand the game. It's a different level. The speed's different, so I feel like I was able just to understand it a little better and just kind of process things and being able to see things before it happens.
But what does that confidence look like on the field?
Just making plays. I feel like plays come from confidence and just being in the right position and just going for it. I feel like you just have to go for it. There's going to be a point in time where you can either go for it or not. And I just went for it, and all my opportunities, when they would come, my opportunities would come.
There is no victory without risk.
Yeah.
You're hearing a young player that believes in himself and was willing to go out early and take risks, right? And you saw him get beat early on. But then, like he said, with each rep, he gained more confidence. And by the time you got to the middle of the season, it was like, okay, we got something here.
We got
something here. 3 years and done. That's what I'm seeing. 3 and out with Benjamin Morrison.
Yeah.
Just talk about his growth that you've seen from him from start to finish this season.
Well, a lot of things gone his way in terms of the football. So, he's going to have to probably deal with next year some of what Cam Hart dealt with, and that's not getting as much action as he's getting this year before, which is can hinder some guys. We've seen it affect Cam a little bit, along with some injuries, but people know about you now. You're not a 15 seconds of fame type of player. They know you got the caliber to be really nice. So the expectation changes for a guy like Ben Morrison. But I think he's a really great kid and will be able to handle the new expectations that are going to be put upon him, because it's easy when nobody's expecting nothing of you. You know, it's easy to go out there and grab 2, 3, 4, 5 picks when nobody, they just go, oh, you're just a freshman. Now they're like, no, you're an All-American. You this, you that. You got to start. Teams are going to game plan away from you, game plan to you, send you their best every week. So I think with those expectations that change the player. You either step up to it and you be ready for it, or you'll struggle and see just where you are. It'll level itself out down the road. But I definitely expect a 3 and out from a kid this confident, and he's able to display his confidence and articulate his confidence through his interviews, being able to explain how he's able to do it by trusting the technique, trusting the coaches, spending the time, getting more reps, and what that's doing to his confidence. So this is a kid that Marcus Freeman can say, okay, we struck hot on and got the right player at Notre Dame.
I was surprised. I'll be honest, Left.
Really?
The kid surprised me. I thought he would be good, but I didn't expect him to go on that streak of interceptions. But it goes back to teams being open to trying him. And I don't think he's going to get the same opportunity next year, like you said.
No, yeah.
It's going to be tough because teams are going to choose to go after Cam Hart next year, bro.
No, for sure. They're for sure going after Cam Hart next year.
And that's wild.
And that's probably why he's like, I need to get healthy right now, be ready for good enough for the spring, fall camp, whatever. But they're definitely going to try Cam Hart more than he's ever been tried. And I think it just comes from the lull of having a season where you're not getting tried, and then injuries occur, and then you're getting tried, and they're like, oh, we might got something over here. And now you're getting tried the whole season. So I think it's another great opportunity for Cam Hart. When he was getting tried his first year, he was making plays. So this could be that redemptive season that he's probably been looking for himself, to be able to put himself in line with getting back to where he believes he can be in the draft.
Benjamin Morrison talked about getting to the end of the season and facing the best receivers that he's faced all year, and coming out of that game against USC, how he gained even more confidence because he was able to see that he can play with the best players, and how that's pushed him to be prepared to face a big-time talent at quarterback in the Gator Bowl.
Just the amount of improvement we can take away from that game. I feel like going against two guys like that, going into the game, you ultimately, freshmen, so you don't really know where you're at. So having a dude to go against who's received the accolades he's received, just coming out of that game, realizing that you can compete with the best in the country, everyone on the defensive side. So it was more so just understanding like what we have to clean up as a defense, and how far we can really go in the future.
And then what have you kind of seen from Spencer Rattler on film so far?
He's a good quarterback. I mean, he's a special quarterback. He can throw the ball like 60 yards like off his back foot, so things like that. He's a special talent. So ultimately, you have to respect that as a defense. I mean, when you have a quarterback like that who's confident in himself and his abilities, you have to ultimately be prepared for everything. So you just have to be on your game when you go against a dude like this.
Indeed. The ball can come out at any point. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely can put some points on you, but he definitely can have some moments where he's giving you a lot of chances as well. He's definitely right. Spencer's probably the most talented outside of Caleb they played all year. From just a natural passing standpoint, I think he's more natural than CJ. CJ's just on a better team, but I think it's going to be a good challenge for a guy like Ben Morrison to go against not only elite receivers, but elite quarterbacks, and learning tendencies and learning how elite quarterbacks play compared to a quarterback like at Purdue that's good with O'Connell, but he's not C.J. Stroud, Caleb Williams, or Spencer Rattler from a talent perspective. So you're running the gamut. I think, if anything, Bill Morrison can say, I've seen NFL players this whole season, and I can play at that level, so it's only going to help me get more confident.
Man, I loved watching them go up against Jordan Addison and Mario Williams, right? You win some, they win some. You know, that makes you better. Now, you're not going to get better avoiding matchups like that.
No.
And you have to feel good with the way, like he said, coming out of that game, now he knows. You know, I can play with anybody. I can play with anybody in the country. And you want your young players to get that feeling, right? I think Jaden Mickey's going to be better from his failures going against top talent this year. Giving up that touchdown against Ohio State. Giving up plays against USC. Like, yeah, you can talk about him right now, but eventually it's going to click for him. And he's going to be better for it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be better for it. I think it's just a matter of time, man. I think it's all going to come together. Another year of experience for those guys is going to do good. Even for our guy, Jaden Mickey, another year of experience. You saw how he was growing through the course of the season from the Ohio State game to right now. And are we going to get back Brandon Joseph, or is that still ruling is out?
If I had to put my money on it, Brandon Joseph will not be on the team next year. If I had to put my money on it right now.
It's definitely getting close to people got to decide. That's for sure.
Hey. I hope he plays well in the bowl game for his sake.
It's a lot of audition tapes out there, for sure. A lot of audition tapes at quarterback, safety, linebacker.
Speaking of bowl games, Morrison, he knows how important it is to come out with a win against South Carolina.
It's ultimately going to be huge for next season. I mean, this will just push us or catapult us to just motivate us that we can play with the best SEC opponent. We have to respect them. They have good players all around. So if we can, if we play the way we're capable of playing, all things should work out.
That's a kid that's confident. Like, if we come to play, we're going to win the game. Like, I'm trying to be nice about it. Yeah. See, that's why I like Benjamin Morrison, because he's GC, left.
He gives you the right
response. Confident.
That's true. He gives you the right responses, the ones that can leave you being like, okay, he's checked off the boxes. He knows the right things to say.
So, once again, the 30th, 2:30. Notre Dame, South Carolina, Gator Bowl. We'll see what this squad is all about. You'll see what the youngsters are all about. We pointed it out yesterday. Don't get it twisted. This is a very young program, young team, laying the foundation with a focus on winning a national championship. And as you said it, Left, it goes beyond the current players and it permeates down to not only the kids in the 23 class that will be signing tomorrow, but the 24 class that can't wait to get to Notre Dame. And they still have senior years to carry out. It's a fantastic feeling around this program. So wonderful feeling going into this game. And I think it's going to be even more momentum going into the offseason in the open period in January when the coaches hit the road and start adding to what is already the #1 class in recruiting in 2024. So Notre Dame, you have to say that they're defensive minded. You love hearing the excitement coming from the defensive players. They're ready to roll. At this point, finals, they're pretty much over with. You're tired of competing and hitting against each other. Now it's like, man, let's celebrate Christmas and then let's go kick some butt.
Yeah, let's celebrate Christmas and end with a bigger gift than anything Santa can give you this year, and that's a win against a team that, you can feel good going into the offseason with a W against, and it'll speak a lot for those young guys and put things in place in terms of what they can look like for the next year, and what that leadership will grow like, and how the young stars mixed with the new stars coming in. I think it's going to be something that Marcus Freeman had in place in his vision of the team, and we're going to see it come to fruition next year, especially after this dub.
I agree. I got Ryan Loft that said, weren't they a young team in 21? No, they had a senior quarterback. They had a pretty redshirt junior running back that was the leader of the offense.
Senior receiver and Kevin
Senior
Lawrence.
receivers.
Michael Mayer
Offensive
was
line was seniors except for they had the freshmen come in and Christophic. Everybody else was sophomore and up.
A. Madden was a transfer.
Defensive line on the interior, seniors.
Yeah,
You had Myra. You had Kurt Heinich. You had Isaiah Foster that was a junior. Like that, you can't even compare 21 to the youth that's being served this year.
And coming
in. No. That was definitely a team that was very representative of Brian Kelly's last hurrah at Notre Dame.
Very indicative one.
Those were his guys. That was his senior class and his juniors, showing you what they had. So, and shout out to Jack Cohn. I know people love to diss Jack Cohn, but I love what Jack Cohn did for the program.
Whoa.
What do you think about this? Randy Scheller said we need a great quarterback transfer.
Well, I mean, guys are picking schools now, so I don't know how much of a due diligence that we're doing on it. If we're waiting until we see how Tyler plays in this game, I get it. There's still some good talent out there, but we would like to at least have some news on headways of guys that we think would have been great fits. We see Jeff Sims get picked up, Spencer Sanders get picked up, Devin Leary just committed. So guys are not waiting around for Notre Dame and vice versa.
Yeah, at this point, I think everything is taking place. We'll hear shortly after the bowl game the direction that they're going at quarterback.
Yeah.
Leonardo Gonzalez, thank you for tapping in. Notre Dame is stacked at running back. Jay Lamar flipping won't hurt as much. Still, Notre Dame needs all the talent they can get. Don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
Don't disagree with you at all. Patrick Hennessy, thank you for tapping in. Unfortunately, I think Kaiser and Maris will be on the move after the game. From the standpoint, I thought they would reach a higher level at Notre Dame. Kaiser, maybe. Maris, I don't think he's going anywhere. If anything, Maris might have a position change to open up the interior of the linebacker position. But I don't foresee Maris being on the move unless some things happen in this bowl game that make it pretty evident that that's what needs to happen. Ryan Loftus, no OT show today. Special show, John Garcia, tonight, 6 p.m. Central Time. Jason Hewlett, thank you for the super chat. Will ND cover -2? I mean, I have them winning straight up. So that's the way I see it. Thank you again for the super chat. Jason, I think JP, number 20, going to steal the show next year. He got quicks and vision. Luck for OC. Yeah, Jadarian Price is going to be a problem next year. It's just, I hope he's going to be 100% healthy.
He might be our Reggie Bush. You never know.
You never know.
Because he's built like a freaking.
Yeah, Jason Hewlett, once again, we're going to keep spinning it different. If you can't handle the host critiquing the quarterback room, this isn't a podcast for you. Kick rocks. Luck for OC. Jason, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that. We have fun on this show, man. So people might be unwilling to talk about certain things. We don't mind. Yeah, we'll jump into it. Kurt Roberts, thank you for the super chat for the Christmas eggnog fun. Are you an eggnog drinker, bro? I've never done eggnog like that.
Yeah, Isn't it like an alcoholic drink?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah,
It can be without alcohol, but yeah, for the most part.
I'm not a big eggnog type person. I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah. Jason Hewlett, once again, yesterday's show, we talked about hard hitters and intimidators. One name was left out. Glenn Earl. He was our running lot. Luck for OC. Glenn Earl used to knock himself out, dude. Like, no, seriously. Like,
oh, shoot.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Drunk Vigo, our guy said rum and eggnog makes sense. Kurt Roberts said put some whiskey in there. Some Onora whiskey.
See, y'all going. See, the only thing I'm liking right now is espresso martinis, man. Get you one. It'll change life. You know, what you do.
This is a blast from the past. Lorenzo Booker, who ultimately ended up at Florida State. Haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah, I remember Lorenzo Booker. He ended up being okay in college. We didn't miss out on too much. Yeah, Troy McIntosh said it is too sweet and too thick. Do you have a special holiday spirit that you go to for like all the Christmas parties left?
I like the cookies, man. I'm a cookie guy during the Christmas time. I think it's because I grew up on making them during this time, so I love Christmas cookies, man. Always fire.
Yeah, I love Christmas cookies. I'm looking forward to the Christmas cookies that we're going to be baking on Saturday night with my daughter.
It's crazy. It's almost Christmas. It's like when you get older, it's like another day for you almost.
Yeah, I picked my daughter up from the airport last night, left. She gets in the car. You know the first thing she says?
Can I get $5 or something?
No, this is my first time seeing you since that beatdown.
You're like, man, I'm about to buy you a return flight right now.
I had to take it on the chin, left. I had to take it on the chin, boy.
I was like, we had the Pyne time going on, you know. It was Pyne time.
And I didn't even throw excuses out. I gave no excuses. I just sat there and took it on the chin, like, you know what, baby girl, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't even see that one coming. Yeah. I expected a hug and a nice ride home.
She was waiting on it because they ain't won in so long. So they wanted. They act like they been winning forever. So
man, boy, you already know what time it is, love.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction. Pettiest stories of the day brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. Hey, man, I got to throw Willie McGinnis and his boy on the petty train.
I know you didn't see each other. Hey, what do you say? You throw the rock and hide your hand. Talking about you throw the rock and hide the bottle. Why did he sit there and really try to snuff dude like that? I'm like, Willie, you the biggest dude in the whole party.
Yeah, you forget he's from Long Beach, bro.
Oh my goodness. He had his goons with him too.
Yo, man. I'm looking at this video like, Willie.
Like, just
but you know what I respect? You know what I respect? The goons did the majority of the work.
They did.
They were like, you know what? You move.
Move.
You the money.
We gotta protect the money now.
Gotta protect the money. And the goons went to work.
He went to work and got on him. So, I wonder what happened.
Hey, man, we're going to see how this story plays out. But I had to put him on the petty train for that. Like, man, Come on, Willie.
I mean, that little old space he was in too. It's all bad.
Look, college football, y'all gotta do better, man. Because some of these early bowl games, dude, there's no promotion.
None. It just be on TV.
It's just on TV. Like we have to put the NCAA and these television partners on the petty train, man. Like,
and they come on at 4:00 or something.
No social media posts, alerting, no notifications, nothing. What are we doing? Promote the games.
Promote the games.
Promote the games. Heck, Marshall beat Notre Dame, and they just played in a bowl game. I just happened to be flipping through TV like.
Yeah, you just trying to see what was on. In the third quarter.
Yeah.
Heated matchup.
Yeah. So shout out to former Notre Dame starting quarterback Drew Pyne, who committed to Arizona State yesterday. He follows Kenny Dillingham, who was the offensive coordinator that made Bo Nix actually look half decent this year at Oregon. So
they're two different players. So I think it's good. He goes to a team that's rebuilding, get a chance to get in there and flex his muscles as a starter in the Pac-12. You're gonna be playing some good games. I think it's a much better landing place with low expectations with a 28-year-old head coach almost. So this would be a good spot for Drew. Man, happy for him.
Man, Drunk Vigo said Arizona State is my dude. That's look. Let me tell you something. Arizona State, if you've never been to Tempe, bro,
it's amazing.
They earned their moniker as a party school.
I love it there.
It's well earned. Well earned. To the point, no. Yeah, see, our boy Greg Glisman, I forgot you live in Tempe, bro. Hey, man.
I love it. I love Arizona.
I would not encourage any kid that is serious about academics to go to school in Arizona.
Yeah, no.
No, go focus elsewhere, kid. Go focus elsewhere. There was somebody I forgot to put on the petty train yesterday. Oh, I know who it was. Let me make sure let me see if I can pull this up, bro.
Put the petty train up. What was it? The Redskins?
Oh, we did the ref yesterday. We did the ref of the Redskins Giants game.
No,
but I want to put the
ahead.
media. The media. And I don't want to blast this certain reporter from ESPN. So Giovanni Bernard was involved in a special teams play where there was a miscommunication, mix-up, and he tried to get out of the locker room without talking about it, which I don't like. Like, be professional, talk about it, but a certain reporter caught it on her phone and literally like put him on blast yesterday, which she didn't have to. Eventually, he stopped. He spoke. You got the quotes, but you felt like he was a jerk, so you felt like you wanted to expose him. And then this is the problem I have with the media. Yes, athletes have to be professional. They should be professional, ask you questions, but they're human beings.
Yeah.
Heck, anybody that's in a relationship, I'm sure all of you have told your partner, like, man, I don't want to talk right now. Yeah. No, I want to talk about it. We got the right to talk about it. No. You can't make me talk about anything. And it's no different with athletes. I don't care how much money they get. You can't force anybody to talk about anything, and you can't make them answer a question the way you want them to answer a question.
Okay.
Learn how to walk away because there's other ways to do your job.
Yeah.
So, I had to put her and the media down there in Tampa on the petty train. Because he's right. He's like, man, you all haven't spoken to me all year.
Now y'all mad that y'all don't want to talk to y'all this one time? No,
Like,
man.
what's an important part of the game? Like, dude, go ask the special teams coach.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way for you to get a quote. It's like, come on, man. That's when the media is more entitled than the players. They won't tell you that, but they are. I'm telling you they are. And I've seen people put in their place in locker rooms, and I laugh every time. Lucky Lefty podcast.
And I laugh every time.
I've literally seen beat
Hey, that's
reporters
petty. I know you back there giggling, Shaun.
put in their place, and I'm dying laughing like, that's what you get. That's exactly what you get. Left will be back tonight with John Garcia Jr. Pure recruiting. Nationally, Notre Dame tonight for you. Lucky Lefty Podcast, LL Nation. We spin it different. Have a great Tuesday. But most of all, make sure that you do things by spinning it different. We'll see you guys tonight, 6 p.m. Central, with John Garcia right here on the Lucky Lefty Podcast.